Welcome back to the garage. Most of the front end's on. I've got the new seal for the wheel bearing, which is on now. So wheels are done up, bearings are in. I've got to set the brakes, but other than that, it's all together as it should be. I've even put the cotter pin in the end, so that's done. I've got to do the other side, but I've proved concept. That is Volkswagen drums on early Ford spindles, and they're smooth as a baby. Got to fill that gap back in, but there's plenty of time for welding. Today, well, a couple of days ago, I received my new handles. These are very nice chrome. They're door handles from the interior of a 32 Ford, and they're going to go here instead of the Volkswagen handles. I'm going to get rid of this, weld that up, and then weld this up, and the handle would just sit like that on the door. In essence, it'll be a bit like that. So what I've come up with a couple of things. I wanted to make a strengthening plate for here, something to give it plenty of strength, because this door handle doesn't pull up, it twists down to open it. Now what I'm going to do, on a sheet of steel, I'm going to put a pressing into that sheet of steel that's got like a raised button head. I'll go and show you what it looks like. Give us 2 seconds. Right, it's my setup. Found this in the scrap bin at work. It's just a chamfered edge. It's about 18mm across, and this as well. So all I'm going to do is press the two of them together with my sheet of steel between them. It's not something I can do one-handed, so I'll set it up and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Right, that's the shape we've ended up with. Just a little button. So if you can imagine, the handle's now going to sit on that. And that's what you'll get in the door. Nice little shape there. Also adds a lot of strength to it. So simple and effective. The amount of washers in the bottom there just set the depth that I pushed it down to. So I'll cut it out and then show you what the handle looks like in place. I've just welded a stiffening washer on the back, and that gives me a nice big gap in there where I can put a seal. A little rubber O-ring will go in there when it's all painted up, and that will give me a seal on the door, but I think it'll just give it a nice feel as well. So there's the handle going in the hole, and then I'll have a nice little relief, sort of, whatever you want to call it, a nice little dome edge to it. I'll get that welded in the door into here, and then show you what it looks like. Right, that's a chopped out hole. Just make that as best you can to match what you're chopping out. Less welding the better. So I'm just gonna let that into there now. Show you how that looks when it's finished. A bit of welding. Ooh, shiny metal. Here you go then. Welded it in, just followed it round, and then the handle will fit like that. And then I'll have the nice sort of metal work behind it there. When this is all painted up, that'll be obviously all black, and then you'll have the little chrome door handle. I'm just going to get rid of this now, and then get rid of that. I can cut it out, or I can leave it in, don't really matter. If I leave it in, it's got a bit of strength for the door, so when I weld this, that shouldn't buckle and heat up or anything. It should just stay where it is. But I think I'll just leave it in and weld a piece in, and weld a piece in that. I've also got to weld up the holes for the trim, because this being a 66, I'm going to carry on with the older trim, which is actually so about 1/2 inch lower than the 70s trim, and the holes are a lot bigger as well, totally different clips. So I'm going to line that up and put my new holes further down, well, at a later date, and then put the early trim on. So I've got a few holes to weld, which I'll sort out. I'll get back to you once I've made this. If you just take a bit of time getting the paper template right, save you a lot of time when you're cutting it as metal. It just takes 2 seconds to, you know, take a little bit more off here and there. So that's my paper template. I need a tiny bit more off there, and then I'll transfer that to steel, cut it out. Once you've got a paper template and you've converted it to steel, this is got a radius to it. It's not a dead flat panel, and it's quite difficult to guess the radius. So what I do is I make the panel fit up here, so bend it to match this radius, and then just move it along because it's the same. It's just a small tip, and then you'll get the radius there, match it. I'll show you that done. There you go, made it out of metal. It's a really nice fit all the way around, and it's level and flat with the rest of the bodywork, and it also follows the same radius because I rested it on this side and made it the same. Just grabbed it and bent it. It doesn't take much effort to get it to be exactly the same. So I'll just hold it in, put a tack, hold it in, put a tack, work it away, and just check how flat it is with a straight edge. I'll get that welded in now. Right, it's fully seam welded in. Just little welds. Add a little hole up here, and a big hole up here down here when I welded that in. I think this metal's slightly thinner there, probably because of the rust. As the water's got in, it's rusted the back out of it, but I've rubbed it up, and then I'm just going to skin it off, and this will get lead loaded and then flatted. So I'll put a bit of thickness back in with the lead and see how that looks. So there's the turn this welder off a sec. There's the door handle then, with its little moulding built into the panel, and then by the time that's all finished work, flatted, painted black, with the chrome belt line going across there, and a little chrome door lock going in underneath. I'm just going to have the one door lock on the driver's side, and then the passenger side I'll lock and unlock inside the cab. So there's the first shiny bit of shininess that's gone on the car. Looks good, doesn't it? Alright, that's the end of this one. I'll get on to the next. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, but I'll get on to the next soon and get you another video up.